those events that the White House was organizing during the campaign, and even since, all those super spreader type events have had a direct impact.
Absolutely, Wolf. That's why it's so baffling that the White House would continue holding events with large numbers of people at the White House, whether on election night or other occasions at the Rose Garden, for example, especially after the president himself had such a difficult moment with this virus. Beyond that, the campaign events that I attended, many of them, with thousands of people not wearing masks, not social distancing, it truly is baffling that the White House has handled the coronavirus the way that it has. And even if Donald Trump Jr., as it says in the statement, is asymptomatic, unfortunately he doesn't deal with some of the awful ramifications of the virus. Just the fact that he has it and could potentially spread it to other people, whether young or old, who have pre-existing conditions that make them more susceptible to the horrible things that this virus can do to the body, that in itself is a reason to take precaution. And further, as you noted, well, we don't know all that much about the long-term effects of this virus. So seeing the White House having handled this virus this way from the beginning, with the president spreading misinformation, admittedly trying to play it down, as he told Bob Woodward in a number of interviews, it is truly baffling and infuriating, especially as we get into these winter months and we watch the epidemic spread further and further, surging across so many states, across the entire country. Wolf.
Yeah, it's really, really a serious situation. You would think they would learn from all of this. Clearly, they have not learned from all of this. Boris, stand by. I want to bring in Dr. Sanjay Gupta, our chief medical correspondent. So, Sanjay, first of all, what's your reaction to the news that the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., has now tested positive for coronavirus?
Well, you know, my reaction is I hope he does well with this. I guess he's in his early 40s, so you know he has his age on his side. And you know, Wolf, as frightening as this is, as you know, since March we've been reminding people that the vast majority of people do recover from this, and a large percentage don't even really have much in the way of symptoms or just minimal symptoms. And it sounds like that's the case with him as well.
No problem.
But as you were just bringing up with Boris Sanchez, you know, you don't want to get this infection. You don't want it. I mean, nothing that anybody has said should say, look, I'm okay to get this, I'll just power through it. That is not a good strategy. It behaves differently in different people. And as you point out, Wolf, these long-hauling symptoms that we talk about are of concern. I mean, I thought the long-hauler symptoms would be more likely to occur in people who had serious disease. But as we're learning from some of these studies coming out of Mount Sinai and other places, even people who have minimal symptoms can still have persistent symptoms. So I wish him well, and I'm glad that it sounds like from Caitlin's reporting that he is abiding by the isolation now guidelines. When you have the infection, you isolate. If you are suspected of having the infection, you quarantine. He hasn't, so he needs to be isolating now, and he'll probably continue to be tested.
Yeah, and of course, all of us wish him a speedy recovery. But I just want to elaborate for a moment, Sanjay, while I have you, because I know people who have had COVID-19. They've tested positive, relatively young people, maybe in their 40s or 50s, who months later still have ramifications, still have an impact. They're not exercising, running, not breathing necessarily the way they used to, and some of them complain about memory fog. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's this respiratory virus. You think about a respiratory virus primarily affecting the respiratory system, the lungs. This is an unusual virus. It does seem to affect just about every organ system in the body. And, you know, we don't know how long these long-hauling symptoms will last, because the only way we're going to really know that is with the passage of time. But, you know, go back and look at some of the early data that came out of Wuhan. I was really struck, and I'm talking about February, March time frame, by the stories of exactly what you're talking about. People who were young, otherwise healthy, maybe even, you know, runners, athletes, who say that they would have trouble, you know, being able to walk a few blocks, even weeks, if not months after their first diagnosis. Go back even further to the days of SARS, another coronavirus, and patients might develop some sort of longer-lasting lung problems. It does seem to be rare, and again, really hope that he doesn't have any of this stuff. But I think the point you're making, the point I'm making is you don't want this. Even if you think I'm young and healthy and will have minimal symptoms, you don't want it. We're still learning so much about this virus. The way to immunize yourself is not to get it. It's to ultimately get the vaccine, which is looming on the horizon now with all the good news we've been talking about the past few days. So we also know, as you pointed out, Secretary Carson, received monoclonal antibodies. I think probably because of his age, maybe his more vulnerability because of that. I don't think that Don Jr. would need that, but I'm curious, as to what he's going to do. If he's feeling fine, hopefully he'll just recover and not need anything else.
Yeah, let's see what happens on that front. Gloria, Donald Trump Jr., one of many, increasing number of the president's inner circle who have now tested positive. We could list them on and on and on. Does that reflect the way the White House and the president have handled this pandemic in general?
I think it does. Sanjay keeps talking about the right way to model behavior. And what I think we should expect from our nation's leaders, particularly those living in the White House, is modeling for the entire country. And instead, what you have in the White House is a president who, after a while, came around to saying, okay, it's okay to wear masks. You have Dr. Scott Atlas, who says, you don't need to mask up. It's ridiculous. Talk about herd immunity at one point. That's not what the country should be seeing from the nation's leaders, particularly the one in the Oval Office. And, obviously everyone wishes Don Jr. well, doesn't want him to have a terrible case of COVID. But what we can see from looking at this, from the outside looking in, is that the White House itself became a hotspot. White House activities became dangerous for Secret Service agents, for people who were at these rallies, who became infected. And of course, we know that even for the president himself, who got COVID. So this is kind of a lesson in what not to do, as opposed to what you should do.
Got it. Your turn.
When the pandemic hit, it was like a wake-up call for me. I was like, okay, here I am. You give up on love, you give up on life.
It's done. Hang on. I got this.
Breaking news, a presidential pardon from Michael Flynn. The president granting a full pardon to his former national security advisor, who pleaded guilty twice to lying to the FBI in the Russia investigation. President-elect Joe Biden warns of a long, hard winter and says we're at war with the virus, not one another, in a Thanksgiving call to unify the nation. With more Americans traveling than at any time in the pandemic, growing concern that Thanksgiving will be a super spreader event with far more COVID cases and deaths. As the numbers keep soaring, the new pleas by frontline workers. Plus, just how protected are you from the virus? A new COVID test may have the answer. The crisis within the pandemic, with so many struggling financially, heartbreaking scenes at food banks facing almost unprecedented demand. Holiday shopping reimagined, what stores are doing to make shoppers feel safe, trying to preserve a little holiday magic. Meghan Markle's deeply personal revelation about her pregnancy loss, a message to so many families who've been through the same experience.
This is NBC 9 News with Lester Holt.
Good evening, I'm Kate Snow in for Lester tonight. President Trump announced today he will grant what he called a full presidential pardon to his former national security advisor, Michael Flynn. Flynn was the only White House official to be convicted as part of the Russia investigation led by Robert Mueller. He's also in focus on the Trump's presidential campaign. The move ending a long, drawn-out legal battle and coming after repeated complaints from the president that his ally was being mistreated. We begin with Kelly O'Donnell at the White House.
Tonight, a show of presidential power undimmed by his electoral defeat. President Trump wiping out the conviction of former national security advisor Michael Flynn, who had pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI in a Russia investigation. The president on Twitter, "It is my great honor to announce that General Michael Flynn has been granted a full pardon. I know you will now have a truly fantastic Thanksgiving." The president's clemency was anticipated, but still striking, as he long complained that Flynn had been mistreated by the Justice Department.
For 2.5 years, many people's lives.
You okay, bro?
I'm all right. Many others ruined their lives.
Fined in 2017 for lying about his contact with the Russian ambassador. This year, Flynn asked to withdraw his guilty plea, and the Justice Department attempted to drop its case, but a judge had not signed off, citing Flynn in legal peril. Separately today, President Trump used his voice to urge agreement, even desperation.
This election has to be turned around.
The president on speakerphone, as his lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, appeared before Pennsylvania Republican state legislators to make complaints about election procedures.
This was an election that we won easily. We won it by a lot.
What was that back there?
Minutes later, in Wilmington, President-elect Joe Biden offered a starkly different message.
Just be thankful for democracy itself.
Biden called for unity and compassion, acknowledging the many hardships brought on by COVID this holiday season.
We need to remember we're at war with a virus, not with one another.
President Trump has now used his pardon power 29 times and commuted another 16 sentences. With Flynn, he has used that special power to help a personal friend and political ally that the White House has referred to as an innocent man who should not have been prosecuted. The Flynn family offered thanks tonight, but House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called this pardon an act of grave corruption. Kate?
Kelly O'Donnell, thank you. Let's get right to NBC's Pete Williams. Pete, does this mean no more legal trouble for Flynn?
I'm working with you. Sure seems to. It ends a legal saga for him that lasted nearly the entire Trump administration. He's lately been waiting 2 months for the judge to rule on whether the Justice Department could drop the case. Attorney General Barr decided that Flynn's false statements to the FBI were not material to any open investigation and therefore were not illegal. But it's not clear tonight how broad this pardon is, even if it does leave the door open to other charges, like failing to report his lobbying for Turkey. It's highly doubtful the Biden administration would pursue them. Kate?
Pete Williams, thank you. Health experts are sounding the alarm tonight about the concerning number of Americans who are traveling during this worsening pandemic, a level of travel not seen since the COVID crisis began. Here's NBC's Tom Costello.
Despite a raging pandemic and a skyrocketing death toll, Americans are on the move this Thanksgiving. From Miami, headed north.
So far, being here has been safe. Everybody's following orders. So no problem.
To New York, headed west.
I really want to see my family. My dad was really sick, so it just needed to happen.
Roughly 1 million people flying each day since Friday, even as the CDC urges Americans to stay home. AAA projects 48 million people are hitting the roads. The Caduto family keeping a tight bubble, driving to Wisconsin.
We want to stay safe, and that's why we're absolutely staying within our inner circles and just going to our cabin.
While cars and planes may be lower risk, experts worry about airports, restaurants, trains, rental car shuttles, and meals with family and friends. The nation's top docs warn we will likely pay a devastating price if hospitalizations soar, as they did after Memorial Day, July 4th, and Labor Day.
This is clearly a super spreading event, and we can see a surge of cases on top of the current surge in a couple of weeks.
18 states plus D.C. now require out-of-state arrivals to be tested or self-quarantine. But the CDC is now considering dropping the recommended self-quarantine time from 2 weeks down to 7 to 10 days.
The accumulating data suggest that we don't have to wait 14 days. We know that the average person will get sick about 5 days after their exposure.
Meanwhile, back at the nation's airports tonight, TSA agents are behind plexiglass and keeping travelers separated.
And Tom's with us. Tom, I know you have some tips if you must travel.
The experts say wear a mask, wear eye protection if you can. On board, don't use the restroom. Stay seated, don't eat or drink, and keep this mask on until you're in your rental car or your home.
All right, Tom Costello, thank you. Thank you for those traveling or planning Thanksgiving outdoors? Let's bring in Al Roker. Al, how's tomorrow shaping up?
There's a pretty strong line of storms making their way toward the east. That's going to bring rain in for the East Coast on Thanksgiving. Being mild in the midsection of the country, cool out west. We move into Friday. It'll be nice and warm, dry, sunny from the northeast all the way through the Great Lakes. Heavy rain, though, develops along the coast, which will continue on Saturday. Sunny and dry in the east with warm weather continuing out west into the plains. And for folks who are returning home on Sunday, soggy through the south, mild in the east, sunny and dry out west. Happy Thanksgiving, Kate.
Probably just another contraband.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, Al. As the COVID crisis deepens, new restrictions are taking effect across the country as hospitals already over.
Is this all of them?
Yes, second sister.
We seek a dangerous fugitive. This is no common anarchist, but a devotee of the treasonous Jedi Order. Failure to turn over this traitor will result in a charge of sedition. Turn yourself in, or everyone present shall face summary execution.
I think it's time someone came forward. I've been working on this heap a long time. Way before the war. We refit and rebuilt ships. Best in the galaxy. Then came the Empire. And engineers became scrappers. The workers, they just started getting worked.
Bravo.
We all know the truth. We're just too afraid to say it. To the Empire, we're all just expendable.
Yes, you are.
No!
Look at this, a lightsaber.
I found the Jedi!
What's that? Checking out the disturbance.
Oh, that hurts.
Hold it! Don't move! How'd you get here?
Easy now.
Got a stowaway.
Hey, you don't need to call this in.
Quiet. This is TK-8190. Stop! Intruder! Hear that over the comm? Jedi? Stay sharp. The traitor. Blast him. Someone else take him. Hit him already. Contact confirmed. Shoot to kill. I can beat him. Jedi is here. Let's seal the cargo door. Can't stop everything.
One way out. Gotta keep moving.
I didn't see you training this morning with the rest of us. I chose to rest instead. That's how I prepare.
That's how you prepare for death. Rest when you're dead. Jedi, engage the process!
I know when I like this. I'll drop you. Intruder! The fugitive comes this way. I'm ready for it. Shut up!
Get to the front, stop the train. Oh no! Need cover. Gotta move in between bursts. Now! Faster!
He's here. I'm ready for your trick.
They shot the coupling out. Gotta get down! Ah! Ah! This is bad! Only way is up.
are you?
No time! Keep moving! We'll pick you up when we can!
Train stuff? This can't be good.
Jump now! Hold on!
Going somewhere? I recognize their stance. Perhaps you've had some training after all. Who's your master, Padawan? Someone I killed, perhaps? What Jedi gave their life so that you might live? Your demise draws nearer. That strike will be your last. You bleed like all the others.
that thing off and grab some seat.
Thanks for the help. But who are you people?
My name is Sir Junda, and this is my captain, Priest Ritus.
How you doing? Yeah, the Mantis is my ship, but you better pay attention to this lady here.
So, who are you?
Cal. Kestis. Who was that back there?
An Imperial Inquisitor. She's a Force user hunting Jedi survivors. And now that she knows who you are, she will not stop until she destroys you.
How do you know so much? And why'd you help me?
We track Imperial communications. We heard the Inquisitors were heading to Bracca, so we made our move.
Oh, yeah? And what's the bounty on Jedi these days anyway?
That's gratitude for you.
Look, I get it. You've been surviving on your own for so long that it's impossible to trust anyone. And it's what's kept you alive. But this is about something bigger than just surviving.
Like what?
Like rebuilding the Jedi Order.
You too? Anybody else?
Oh, we're not good enough for you?
The Jedi Council?
They're gone.
So I'm all you've got.
Captain, set a course for Bogano.
Aye, aye.
In the meantime, try and relax. Go, you're safe. For now.
You gotta move on and live your life. Find your destiny. Calico!
You were talking in your sleep. Weirdo. Not now, I got work to do.
Song. I wrote it. Years ago. You touch an object and witness events connected to it. You feel its history.
It's an echo in the Force from the object.
Not many Jedi have that skill.
How would you know that?
I was once a Jedi. But not anymore.
Do I know you?
No. But I knew your master, Jaro Tapal. He was a true guardian of the Republic.
He was a hero. Listen. Something happened to me during the Purge. I survived, but my connection to the Force is damaged. When I meditate, if I let my guard down, I lose control. It's like I'm back in that moment when...
You survived, Cal. And you're not alone. Not anymore.
We're coming up on our destination.
This is Begana. A Jedi I knew discovered it before the Purge. You won't find it on any maps.
The Empire doesn't know this place exists?
No.
So? What's the plan? Will you hide out here?
We're done hiding, Cal. See that structure over there? I believe that vault holds the key to rebuilding the Jedi Order. But it requires someone strong in the Force to pass its test.
And since you're not a Jedi anymore, that's why you need me.
I know you don't trust me. And I'm not really sure I trust you. But we have a common enemy. And a common cause. I'll share more of my plan after you reach the vault. But, until then, there's someone here I think you should meet. May the Force be with you.
Guess I'm looking for a Jedi then. But if there's already one here, why does Seer need me? This looks like a safe place to meditate. Just need to focus my mind. Hey, BD1. I'm Cal. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm looking for someone. No, not you. I'm searching for a Jedi, I think. Hold on. You know the Jedi? What do you know? Wait, hold on! Did you just slice that? Thanks. That's the vault Seer mentioned. Whoever I'm supposed to find must be waiting there. sense something over here. That's a really big bug. It was after boggling eggs and the pack fought back. No way through here. Guess that's why BD1 warned me. All right, maybe I'll listen to you next time. Any ideas? Gotta get across this gap somehow. Zipline? Whoa! How'd you know that would work? Wait, you didn't? Careful over there. That doesn't look safe. Just like back at the scrapyard. Hold on, I'm coming. That was pretty brave. You okay? Wait, I can help you with that. Will you let me? Oh, okay. Well, your scomp link is busted, but this should help you get moving for now. Okay, try that. The vault. Yeah, that's where I was headed to. Okay, well, first we gotta figure out a way out of this place. BD, that's a little small for me. Don't worry, I'll find my own way out. Tight fit, but this should work. Yeah, I'm all right. Healing stim. You're full of surprises. That's better. Thanks, little droid. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Here, hop on board. So, how'd you get here? Don't remember? I've never known a forgetful droid. Can't argue with that. Whoever lived here used this room for storage. They kept food and supplies. Hey, a chest. Think the Jedi would mind if we grab supplies? What's that, BD-1? That's where we need to go. I can feel it. What is this place? The Jedi used this place to study the sphere above. I can still feel the excitement. mapped everywhere we've been. I can't make it over there. We gotta find another way. Where are you going? Did you find something, BD-1? This tool was used by someone eager to reach the vault. difficult, Master.
Yes, the path is difficult. It may seem impossible, but with persistence and the Force as your ally, you will overcome any obstacle. You will master any path. Now, do what you must to reach me. Good. Again. Now, reach my position.
I did it. Persistence and the Force is my ally. Just remembering old tricks. Think you can show me that shortcut again? This area was used for meditation by someone familiar with the Jedi Order. '81. Okay. Something was in there. done. Holding up okay? Good to hear. What's that? I'm looking. Toss it here. Someone made camp here. They were excited to discover a giant creature that lives close by. A binoc, they called it. Can you slice this? Yeah, sorry about your scuffling. Standing up to that bug rat? Pretty brave. Hey, BD1? Just checking on you. You seem happy. Holding up okay? Good to hear. Racy there? Oh, it's on! We're not finished yet. Okay, you probably would have won. Probably.
overwhelmed are bracing for far more patients. Also overwhelmed, many food banks the night before Thanksgiving. Here's Miguel Almaguer.
As Americans prepare for Thanksgiving, tomorrow will be no holiday for those fighting COVID. 261,000 lives lost in a battle Nurse Erin Bonai is trying not to bring home.
Amazing.
One of the things that we have been struggling with is what we do with our kids. If we feel like it comes to a point where we can't keep them safe, that includes potentially sending them to live with a relative away from us. So stay home.
All right, Edie?
Please.
To slow COVID spread, there is a growing but confusing list of restrictions. Landing in California from out of state, you'll be asked to quarantine for 14 days. Flying to Illinois, no statewide mandate, but if you arrive in Chicago, you may need to quarantine or face up to a $7,000 fine. But there seems to be little enforcement. In Pennsylvania, the governor may have found it easier to ban alcohol sales at bars and restaurants by 5 p.m. today.
The biggest day for drinking is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Let's forego that just one time.
With some hospitals at capacity, the FDA just authorized a new antibody test that could measure not just if you have protection from the virus, but how much. Help arrives too late for many families. Cliff Anderson lost his mother, Mary Ann.
He said, Mom, it was it's okay to go.
I can only trust this holiday
And the way he
to
decided
follow
to
my path
the accident away. That was really hard.
Tonight, amid so much staggering loss, a reminder many of us still have much to be grateful for. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
I'm Sam Brock in Miami. If a picture tells 1,000 words, the images outside food banks all over America could write a novel on me.
Now, due to the virus, the money is not there.
It's an ongoing pandemic, putting a crisis into people waiting online for hours. If it weren't for these sites, would you be able to get food on the table?
Not really.
I guess you were the someone I was supposed to meet.
Feeding South Florida has seen demand double.
We went from serving 706,000 food insecure to over 1.5 million families in need of assistance.
At this food site in Miami, the line started at 11 o'clock last night. Behind me, there are about 600 people in this parking lot waiting to come and get their meal. Once they hit that number, everyone else is redirected to another location. An estimated 50 million people will be food insecure this year, and 17 million kids were 1 in 4. A situation only set to worsen as federal dollars from the CARES Act are about to dry up. A real reminder.
It will help you to at least go to the end of the month and survive.
Of what's at stake. Sam Brock, NBC News.
Americans struggling with the pandemic and economic hardship were front of mind for Joe Biden as he realized he would be president. He spoke about that moment in his exclusive interview with Lester.
What was the moment when you heard that you were projected? I was confident we were going to win this election. I really was. Because I was so certain the American people were going to speak out. People are really, 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 really worried and concerned. And they want something done. Both sides. And after 30 lawsuits were thrown out in rapid succession, I was convinced it was just a matter of time. It was going to happen. And that's why I decided just to move on as if I were the nominee and do the business I would do within my power from the day the election occurred. And that's why I've moved along as if I'm the president. And you started to act like you owned it. Yeah, I mean, because I believe I did. And I think it's important to send a message that confidence and strength, and let people know what I will do. Give them some words in what I will do. That's why I started off with the COVID decision and who I appointed and putting together that group. I think people are just looking is... another one? Is somebody taking this seriously? And I am deadly earnest about what I want to do. And I truly believe that I can unite this country. I think the country is so hungry for it, including a lot of Republicans.
And you can see Lester's full interview with the president-elect online at NBCnews.com. In Europe, where the strategy to control a second wave of the COVID pandemic looked much different than here in the U.S., leaders announced success this week and an easing of strict lockdowns. As Richard Engel explains now, the message was a simple one: stay home to save Christmas.
There's finally something to celebrate at the end of grim 2020. The lights tonight are on down Paris's Champs-Élysées, on London's Oxford Street, in Dublin, and in Madrid's Royal Botanical Gardens. Christmas in Europe this year is a go, saved by preemptive lockdowns. Most of Europe closed 3 weeks ago, leaving schools open, but shutting nearly everything else.
Christmas, of course, is more than just a holiday. It's essential for many retailers, and getting to it is giving people a goal, a collective feeling that if they sacrifice now, maybe there's a present at the end of it.
It's been working. The UK announced restrictions will be loosened for the holidays, with up to 3 households allowed to get together.
My friend, it's the season to be jolly, but it's also the season to be jolly careful.
In Spain, Christmas parties up to 6 are due to be allowed. In Germany, up to 10. No limit on the number of children. France is keeping most of its lockdowns in place until December 15th, and only dropping curfews for Christmas and New Year's Eve. It's a COVID Christmas, and Europe hopes not to have to pay too big of a price for it. Richard Engel, NBC News, London.
In just 60 seconds, shopping reimagined, how stores here this holiday are trying to make us feel a little safer if we shop in person. COVID has many brick-and-mortar retailers fighting for their lives this holiday season. Jolene Kent tells us survival means thinking outside the box and the store.
The holiday shopping rush feels so very different in the pandemic. As online sales surge with discounts already on for weeks, malls are trying to lure customers in safely and restore some of that traditional shopping magic before possible new lockdowns hit.
Everything's closing really soon, and I just wanted to see everything in person before I made the purchase online.
The kids like to see the toys, like to see their clothes, they like the hands-on experience.
The pressure is on. Online holiday sales expected to surge 33% compared to last year. That's 2 years of growth in one season. That's why in California, malls like South Coast Plaza are moving outside, transforming parking garages into temporary shopping areas, allowing customers to knock out their list by appointment only.
Here at Westfield Mall, you can steer clear of crowds by making reservations for individual stores in their mobile app. Show up at your appointed time and get shopping.
Shoppers are also taking advantage of outdoor markets full of small businesses like the Winter Village in New York.
I think it's the atmosphere, right? There's this whole kind of excitement, seeing what's in each other's baskets, getting inspiration.
Balancing the holiday spirit with safety in this unprecedented season of giving. Jolene Kent, NBC News, Los Angeles.
We're back in a moment with Meghan Markle going public with a deeply personal loss, trying to help others. It's a powerful message that's resonating with so many families tonight. Meghan Markle sharing the news of a pregnancy loss this year. Here's Erin McLaughlin.
Meghan Markle gives intimate details of her pregnancy loss, writing an emotional essay for the New York Times. How it happened in July while she was holding baby Archie. I felt a sharp cramp. I dropped to the floor with him in my arms, humming a lullaby to keep us both calm. I knew as I clutched my firstborn child that I was losing my second. Markle describes watching Prince Harry's heartbreak as he tried to hold the shattered pieces of mine. Up to 1 in 4 of all pregnancies ends in miscarriage.
I think this gives people the ability to feel it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to encourage people to get support.